Sam Heughan just dropped a bombshell that no one saw coming. After months of rumors and speculation, the truth is out, and it's tearing everything apart. His girlfriend is reportedly on the verge of divorcing her husband after shocking new revelations about Sam's secret connection with a new flame. Fans are stunned, the internet is on fire, and what Sam said changes everything. Stay tuned because this is not just gossip. It's a game changer. Hollywood has always been a stage for scandal, passion, and shocking plot twists. But this latest revelation involving Outlander star Sam Heughan is sending shockwaves far beyond the screen. The dashing Scottish actor, long adored by fans for his role as Jamie Fraser, has dropped what many are calling an emotional and personal bombshell, and it may have real-life relationship consequences that no one anticipated. Reports are now swirling that a woman long rumored to be close to Heughan and allegedly involved romantically behind closed doors is now at the center of divorce discussions with her real-life husband after new developments surfaced. This story is tangled with secrecy, stardom, and the emotional fallout of unexpected intimacy. So what really happened? And why is everyone talking? Let's unpack the entire timeline. For years, Sam Heughan has managed to keep his private life tightly under wraps. Despite global fame and endless speculation from fans, the actor rarely confirms anything about his romantic relationships. But sources close to the star recently revealed that Sam may have been growing increasingly close to a woman already married, sparking whispers across industry circles. She wasn't a public figure, at least not at first. Described as intelligent, charming, and mysteriously present at several of Sam's recent off-screen appearances, her identity remained concealed. But eagle-eyed fans noticed the two attending private events, dinners, and even overseas charity galas together, often staying just out of paparazzi reach. Her name wasn't spoken until recently. In a rare, emotionally charged podcast interview filmed in early July, Sam Heughan reportedly made cryptic statements about knowing what it's like to love someone you shouldn't and carrying the weight of emotional truths no one's ready to hear. To fans, it felt like a poetic line. To insiders, it was the first hint of a confession. Later, a well-known entertainment blogger claimed that Sam had admitted to falling in love with someone who wasn't technically available at the time, but that he no longer wanted to hide the truth. The blog post quickly went viral, quoting an anonymous friend who claimed, "Sam never meant to hurt anyone, but he's tired of pretending. This wasn't just a fling, it was real, and now things are unraveling." Just days after the podcast surfaced, the alleged girlfriend's real-life husband, a corporate executive based in London, was seen removing photos from social media and reportedly moved out of their shared home temporarily. According to British tabloid insiders, he was absolutely blindsided by the emotional depth of his wife's connection to Sam. He thought they were in a strong marriage, but after the story broke, she admitted that her feelings for Sam may have gone deeper than she realized. By midweek, divorce lawyers were reportedly contacted. Whether the relationship ever became physically intimate is still under question, but some outlets are already labeling it an emotional affair that crossed boundaries. While her full identity hasn't been confirmed publicly, entertainment insiders believe the woman is an art curator with international ties and has worked on charity campaigns connected to Heughan's brand Sassenach Spirits. In several now-deleted Instagram photos from early 2025, the two were spotted on the same Greek island within days of each other, though never pictured together. Fans now believe those were not coincidences, but carefully timed getaways. She is said to be deeply private, well-educated, and known for her low-profile presence, all traits that have drawn Sam in the past. Fan reactions have been intensely divided. Some say Sam Heughan has every right to follow his heart, especially after years of romantic speculation and being labeled Hollywood's most eligible bachelor. Others, however, feel deeply uncomfortable with the idea of someone else's marriage crumbling under the weight of celebrity drama. Social media is buzzing with comments like, "Sam deserves happiness, but not at the expense of someone else's home. If this is true, I've lost respect for him." This makes Outlander feel even more real and tragic. Some fans have even drawn parallels between this situation and Jamie Fraser's tortured love triangle arcs on the show. Art imitating life? Neither Sam Heughan nor the woman involved has made an official public statement about the incident as of today. But the silence has only fueled further speculation that something real did happen, and now the fallout is playing out in private, behind legal doors. Sam has remained active on social media, posting scenic views from Scotland and promoting his brand, but fans have noticed a distinct shift in tone. Meanwhile, entertainment blogs have begun digging through past interviews, photos, and cryptic captions looking for clues that were missed. Could this relationship become official in the near future, or has the entire ordeal pushed both parties into retreat? This isn't the typical Hollywood affair story. If anything, it reveals how fame, emotional vulnerability, and the search for genuine connection can lead even the most private stars down paths filled with complication. Whether you believe this was an honest mistake, a fated love story, or a heartbreaking misstep, one thing is clear. Sam Heughan just changed the narrative, and everyone's watching what comes next. Scottish actor and global heartthrob Sam Heughan is stepping into a new chapter of his multifaceted career, one that blends art, activism, and authenticity. Following the conclusion of Outlander's final season filming, Heughan has turned his focus from the fictional 18th century Highland warrior Jamie Fraser to an equally fierce, though real-world, fight, saving Scotland's endangered wildcats. This new venture, narrating the powerful documentary Clinging by a Claw, marks a poignant and timely convergence of the actor's deep Scottish heritage, environmental advocacy, and vocal artistry. The documentary, produced by Saving Wildcats in partnership with Scotland, The Big Picture, and supported by the European Nature Trust, is not just a voiceover gig for Heughan. It's a cause close to his heart. The actor, known for his rugged charisma and cinematic presence, brings that same gravitas to the plight of one of the UK's most elusive and endangered species, the Scottish wildcat. Also known as the Highland tiger, this majestic animal is teetering dangerously on the edge of extinction. Through vivid cinematography and an emotionally compelling narrative, the film follows the dedicated conservationist striving to give the species another chance in its native habitat. Heughan's involvement is much more than celebrity endorsement. In an era where influencers jump onto causes for publicity, his participation is refreshingly genuine. The actor shared the film's poster and trailer on his Instagram stories, writing with palpable enthusiasm, excited to take you on the iconic Wildcats journey back to the Scottish Highlands, honored to narrate this heartwarming feature-length documentary, Clinging by a Claw, which is being brought to you this autumn by @SaveOurWildcats and @ScotlandTVP. His passion resonated with fans and friends alike, including Outlander co-star Katrina Balfe, who responded with a string of applauding emojis, a fitting gesture for the deeply moving project. The preview clip released by the filmmakers features sweeping drone footage of the Cairngorms National Park and close-up shots of wide-eyed kittens peeking from their dens. But it's Heughan's velvety voice, tinged with urgency and reverence, that steals the spotlight. The wildcat is on the brink of extinction in Scotland. This enigmatic animal is clinging on by a claw, he warns. The documentary's title, drawn from this line, becomes a metaphor not only for the species' survival, but also for the delicate balance between human encroachment and ecological restoration. The film promises more than just data. It offers hope, resistance, and the thrill of possible rediscovery. Acclaimed wildlife presenter Iolo Williams, familiar to many from BBC's Springwatch, lends his expertise to the project. One especially stirring moment in the trailer captures Williams walking through a wooded trail, reflecting on the possibility of encountering a wildcat in the Highland wilderness. That sends a frisson of electricity down my spine, he says. It's a feeling any nature lover can relate to, the intoxicating mystery of the wild. Heughan's fans will soon get the chance to experience that same thrill in theaters. Clinging by a Claw is scheduled for screening across several Scottish cinemas this autumn, with a premiere at the Royal College of Physicians of Edinburgh. The event will feature a post-screening Q&A moderated by naturalist and broadcaster Chris Packham, whose lifelong advocacy for wildlife gives the film's mission an even broader platform. The partnership between celebrities, scientists, and grassroots conservationists creates a rare synergy, one that could potentially help shift public perception and rally resources for Scotland's embattled wildcats. But for Heughan, this isn't just a professional project. It's a homecoming. Born in Balmaclellan in Dumfries and Galloway, his connection to the Scottish landscape is not just physical, but spiritual. His childhood memories are steeped in tales of the Highlands, myths of Celtic beasts, and long walks among the heather. That kinship with the land has always been evident in his work, from his nuanced portrayal of Jamie Fraser in Outlander to his whiskey brand Sassenach Spirits, which channels the mystique of the Highlands into a bottle. With Clinging by a Claw, he now uses his voice, literally, to stand up for the land and creatures that shaped him. In an unexpected but fascinating twist, Heughan's voice will also echo across another iconic Scottish space later this year, the stage. The actor is set to make his Royal Shakespeare Company debut in Macbeth, stepping into the titular role of the tormented Scottish general whose ambition spirals into tyranny and madness. He'll be joined by acclaimed actress Leah Williams in the role of Lady Macbeth, forming a duo that promises electricity and gravitas. The move is both bold and overdue. Though Heughan trained at the Royal Scottish Academy of Music and Drama and appeared in theatre early in his career, his rise to global fame through Outlander and action-packed roles in SAS Red Notice, Bloodshot, and The Couple Next Door took him away from the stage. His return signals not only a deepening of his artistic journey, but also a challenge: how to portray one of literature's most psychologically complex characters after nearly a decade embodying a romantic Highland warrior beloved by millions. In many ways, the roles are yin and yang. Jamie Fraser is grounded, stoic, and fiercely principled, a man of loyalty and love. Macbeth, by contrast, is haunted, fractured, and ultimately corrupted. Both characters are rooted in Scottish lore and history, but they represent opposing worldviews. For Heughan, the shift is an opportunity to flex different creative muscles, to explore not just the nobility of man, but his shadow. The juxtaposition of these projects, narrating a conservation film and portraying one of Shakespeare's most infamous anti-heroes, captures the tension and evolution of Heughan's post-Outlander identity. He is no longer simply a TV star riding the wave of historical romance fandom. He is redefining himself as a cultural ambassador, environmental advocate, and serious stage actor. And his fan base, far from dwindling, appears to be expanding to include nature lovers, theatergoers, and critics alike. That isn't to say Heughan has left behind his other pursuits. Far from it. His whiskey brand Sassenach Spirits continues to thrive, winning accolades for both its signature blended scotch and tequila. His fitness and wellness initiative, My Peak Challenge, now celebrating its 10th year, has raised millions for global charities while inspiring a worldwide community to pursue personal transformation through exercise, mindfulness, and philanthropy. Moreover, Heughan's film career is still burning bright. He's slated to appear in the upcoming survival drama Everest, directed by Doug Neiman and featuring an A-list cast including Ewan McGregor, Mark Strong, and Juno Temple. The film tells the gripping true story of George Mallory's ill-fated 1820s expedition to summit the world's highest peak. Heughan plays Geoffrey Bruce, one of the climbers who accompanied Mallory on the harrowing journey. The role demands not only emotional depth, but also physical endurance, qualities the actor has demonstrated time and again. So, what does all this mean for Sam Heughan's future? Perhaps it's best understood as a pivot, an intentional move toward depth, legacy, and meaning. In a time when celebrity is often ephemeral and noisy, Heughan seems to be leaning into substance. He's choosing projects that reflect his values: environmental stewardship, cultural integrity, and personal challenge. He's not chasing the biggest paycheck or the trendiest streaming deal. He's curating a body of work that tells a story about what it means to be Scottish, to be human,
to care. The documentary Clinging by a Claw may not break box office records, but it could very well awaken something far more enduring, a sense of responsibility to protect the wild, to listen to the land, and to act before it's too late. With Sam Heughan lending not just his voice but his heart to the cause, that message has never sounded clearer or more urgent. As the curtain falls on Outlander's era-defining run, a new stage is being set, one at which Sam Heughan, no longer just Jamie Fraser, walks the Highlands not as a ghost from the past, but as a guardian of the future.
Sam Heughan, best known to the world as the ruggedly romantic Jamie Fraser of Outlander, is embarking on an ambitious and deeply meaningful chapter of his career. With the curtain falling on Starz' epic series after a decade of time travel, rebellion, and passion, the 45-year-old Scottish actor is stepping into two very different but equally impactful roles: Shakespeare's tortured King Macbeth and the voice of a vital conservation movement aimed at rescuing one of the UK's most endangered native species, the Scottish wildcat. This pivot from fantasy hero to real-world advocate and classical theater performer is already sending ripples through both the entertainment industry and environmental circles. The news broke via The Express, followed by a cascade of social media buzz, when Heughan revealed his involvement in Clinging by a Claw, a documentary aimed at saving the elusive and near-extinct Scottish wildcat. The announcement was accompanied by a hauntingly beautiful poster that Heughan shared on Instagram stories, the image of a fierce yet vulnerable feline, nestled among the misty backdrop of the Highlands. Alongside the image, he wrote, "Honored to narrate this heartwarming feature-length documentary, Clinging by a Claw, which is being brought to you this autumn by @SaveOurWildcats and @ScotlandTBP." Katrina Balfe, his longtime co-star and friend, was quick to express her support, reacting with clapping hand emojis and prompting a fresh wave of anticipation among fans of the beloved Outlander duo. But this project is no mere voiceover gig. It's a deeply personal mission for Heughan, who has long been a champion of Scottish culture, heritage, and ecology. His narration in the trailer sets the tone for the film's emotional gravity. The wildcat is on the brink of extinction in Scotland. This enigmatic animal is clinging on by a claw. He delivers the line with the same quiet intensity that endeared millions to his portrayal of Fraser, now channeled into the plight of a real animal whose very existence hangs in the balance. The trailer goes on to ask a chilling but hopeful question. Could there be fresh hope for wildcats? The documentary, which will premiere in Scottish cinemas this autumn, features breathtaking cinematography of the Highlands, sweeping vistas, ancient forests, and secretive lairs where these rare felines once roamed in relative freedom. Heughan's narration is interwoven with commentary from wildlife experts, including BBC's Spring Watch naturalist Iolo Williams, who is seen speaking passionately about the importance of rewilding efforts in the Cairngorms National Park. One particularly moving moment shows Williams exploring one of the newly constructed wildcat habitats and proclaiming with wonder, "Can you imagine walking through here and you've the possibility, it's a small possibility, but you've got the possibility of bumping into a wildcat? That sends a frisson of electricity down my spine." The project is a joint effort between Saving Wildcats, Scotland, The Big Picture, and the European Nature Trust, emphasizing a holistic approach to conservation that includes science, community involvement, and storytelling. A special screening at the Royal College of Physicians of Edinburgh will feature a post-film Q&A session hosted by none other than wildlife advocate Chris Pockham, a move designed to foster public dialogue around this critical issue. This new chapter in Heughan's career feels like a natural evolution for the actor who has consistently defied being boxed in. After achieving global fame with Outlander, he refused to rest on his laurels. From launching Saskatchewan Spirits, a whiskey brand celebrating his Highland roots, to founding My Peak Challenge, a holistic wellness initiative that encourages personal growth through fitness and community, Heughan has proven himself as a man of action and principle. His charitable endeavors through MPC have raised millions for causes ranging from blood cancer research to mental health awareness, all while cultivating a passionate global following.
And while Clinging by a Claw may be his first major foray into environmental storytelling, it certainly won't be his last. Those close to Heughan say he's deeply invested in the rewilding movement, not just in Scotland, but globally. The documentary, they suggest, has awakened in him a new sense of purpose, one that blends his love for storytelling with a fierce devotion to his homeland's ecological well-being. In many ways, this mirrors his journey with Outlander, where Jamie Fraser fought to protect his land and kin. Now, Sam Heughan steps into that same protector role, not in fiction, but in reality. Meanwhile, fans of live theater are in for a treat as Heughan prepares to take on one of Shakespeare's most psychologically complex roles, Macbeth. Set to debut later this year with the Royal Shakespeare Company, the production stars Heughan opposite acclaimed actress Leah Williams, known for her powerful turns on both stage and screen. This role represents a homecoming of sorts. Before the kilts and time travel, Heughan trained at the Royal Conservatory of Scotland and cut his teeth in the UK theatre circuit, performing in everything from The Vortex to Romeo and Juliet. But Macbeth is different. It's Shakespeare at his darkest and most tortured. And for Heughan, it's the ultimate test of dramatic endurance. Speaking to the BBC earlier this month, Heughan described his anticipation for the role as electric and slightly terrifying. He added, "There's something about Macbeth that resonates right now. This ambition, the questions about fate and morality. It's a brutal, intimate play, and doing it live on stage feels like the right challenge at this moment in my life." Indeed, the parallels between Macbeth's inner turmoil and Heughan's post-out turns to darkness, the other to purpose. And unlike Macbeth's descent into madness, Heughan's next act appears to be one of enlightenment and impact. What makes this theatrical endeavor even more compelling is the way it complements his cinematic and conservationist efforts. Heughan has long spoken about the importance of balance in his life, balancing fame with authenticity, physical strength with emotional vulnerability, and now entertainment with advocacy. His recent fitness book, Waypoints, My Scottish Journey, offered readers a glimpse into his personal struggles and growth, tracing his solo hike along the West Highland Way and his reflections on family, fame, and the future. That trek, he says, helped him reconnect with the land and clarified his goals. In 2025, he will further challenge himself in the high-stakes survival drama Everest, a feature film chronicling the historic 1920s British expedition to conquer the world's tallest mountain. Directed by Doug Liman and co-starring Ewan McGregor, Mark Strong, and Juno Temple, the film is already being touted as one of the year's most anticipated releases. Heughan plays George Finch, a real-life Australian chemist and mountaineer who was among the earliest to experiment with using oxygen at high altitude, a move that paved the way for future expeditions. This physically grueling role required Heughan to train at high elevations and immerse himself in mountaineering culture, yet another testament to his commitment to authenticity. When asked how he manages to juggle so many hats, actor, entrepreneur, activist, athlete, Heughan remains characteristically humble. "I've been incredibly lucky," he told the Scotsman, "but I think we all have a responsibility to use whatever platform we have to shine a light on things that matter, whether it's saving wildcats, supporting people through My Peak Challenge, or telling powerful stories on screen or stage. I just want to do work that feels meaningful." That meaning is now spreading across multiple fronts. At the heart of it all is Scotland, its wilderness, its stories, its people. Whether climbing metaphorical mountains in Everest, navigating moral quagmires in Macbeth, or protecting vanishing wildlife through Clinging by a Claw, Sam Heughan is asserting himself as not just a performer, but a cultural steward. The wildcat, much like Heughan himself, is a symbol of Scottish resilience, quiet, fierce, and often misunderstood. In lending his voice to this vital cause, Heughan is not just narrating a documentary, he's helping write a new chapter for Scotland's future, one that art, nature, and humanity converge in powerful and unexpected ways. And perhaps that's the ultimate legacy of Jamie Fraser.